Yo, what's going on? It's me, and I got a battle here, a new battle against a person by the name of Foxlight. And by the way, I got a new mic, so hopefully I sound better. But yeah, anyways, got a new battle here against Lightfox. There's the teams. There's my team, and there's my opponent's team. Now, right away, the biggest threats I'm looking at are Palkia, Arceus, Ghost, and Dialga. Now, Palkia is definitely going to be a problem, just seeing as how I don't really have too much to actually deal with it. I mean, I do have the Fortress, which is specially defensive, but a Fire Blast will absolutely destroy it. I have the Ho-Oh, which can take hits because of its massive special defensive stat, but it's not going to enjoy taking Spatial Rends or Hydro Pumps even in the sun. Next is the Arceus Ghost. If that thing is the bulky Calm Mind Recover variant, it could definitely be a problem if it sets up, but I do have the Ho-Oh, which can sponge hits and then just blast it with a Sacred Fire. And then the Dialga could be a problem depending on what type of Dialga it is. If it's Spexed, then I'm not going to have fun dealing with it because Spexed Dialga hits like a truck. If it's Scarfed, it'll be a little bit more manageable seeing as how I have Fortress to sponge the Dracos. And if it's maybe like Life Orb or something, not too much of a problem either because again, Fortress to sponge the Dracos and then Ho-Oh to take the fire moves. But yeah, anyways, now in terms of leads, I'm going to be completely honest here and just say I really didn't even care what I led with. I just clicked a few buttons and led with Ho-Oh. So, yeah, I'm not even going to try to explain why I led with Ho-Oh. But yeah, not really sure what he's going to lead with, but then again, I just picked a random lead. So, yeah, anyways, let's get on with the battle. Okay, so here we are. Anyways, I'm gonna lead with my Ho-Oh, like I was saying, as my opponent is gonna lead with a Heatran. Now that's perfectly fine because I can pretty much just go for the Brave Bird and pop this thing's balloon and get off some really nice damage. I mean, I don't really think he can do too much to me other than set up Stealth Rocks, and I should be able to spin those away later on. So I'm gonna go for the Brave Bird here on the Ho-Oh, get off some really nice damage, and now I can just switch out into my Groudon, hopefully sponge a few hits, and just get back up to full with the Regenerator. So, bringing Groudon, get up my son, really isn't going to help me too much, but, it's there just to be there, as he goes for the Outrage and does a ton of damage. So, right away, I definitely know that this thing is banded, which means that I really don't want to play any games with this thing, and I want to knock it out right away with the Earthquake. So, he's going to bring me down really low with the second Earthquake, but luckily for me, I do just manage to kill him off. So, that's one annoying Pokemon out of the way. But now he is going to bring in the Arceus Ghost, and unfortunately, it's not going to look like I'm going to be able to set up rocks this entire battle. But just in case he decided to do anything weird, I decided to go for the Roar, and luckily for me, that ends up paying off because he does go for the Swords Dance, and I roar him out into the perfect thing, which is the Fortress, because I know he can't outspeed me, and I can just set up my rocks, and then yeah, so I'm going to go for my rocks here as he brings in the Heatran. I'm guessing maybe fearing the fire move that some Groudons do tend to run, but I don't. I just have Edgequake. So yeah. Anyways, I'm going to leave my Groudon in here as Death Fodder. Not really sure why. I mean, I do have the Ho-Oh with the Roost, so I could have easily brought that in, but I don't know, whatever. Hindsight is 2020, I guess. So now I am going to be able to bring in my Ho-Oh again because I'm pretty sure he can't break my sub, and then I can just start blasting him with the Brave Birds and do a very good amount of damage to him. So I'm going to go for my sub as he ends up going for the Lava Plume, and even though this is sun boosted, it's still not going to be able to break my sub because of Ho-Oh's massive special defensive stat. So I'm just going to go straight for the Brave Bird here, get off some nice damage, and pop the thing's balloon, as he is going to break my substitute with a Dragon Pulse. So pretty much now my Ho-Oh is kind of low after all the recoil from everything. So what I'm going to do is just go for the Roost here, as he actually makes a very risky play. He brings in Palkia. I'm not sure why. I guess he predicted the Roost? I don't even know. That really was like, why would you do that? Like, I could have gone for the Brave Bird and destroyed that Palkia, but whatever. Anyways, I'm gonna switch out because I know I don't. I mean, I know I can take a Hydro Pump, and I don't want to take a Hydro Pump. So I'm just gonna send Fortress in to hopefully take a hit as he goes for the Thunder, and I don't take it as well as I thought I would. So I'm gonna predict the switch here and go for the Volt Switch as he does indeed bring in the Fortress here, which is perfect because now I can Volt Switch out into my Ho-Oh right here, and then just get up a sub because I thought he would probably switch out into the Heatran, but unfortunately he doesn't, and he stays in, maybe predicting me to sub. I don't know anymore. I don't know. Either way though, he gets up his rocks, which is kind of unfortunate. But now I'm just gonna go for the Sacred Fire, actually forgetting that he had this Heatran. Um, I don't know, I was like, oh, Sacred Fire, let's go for that. And I was like, no, because he has Heatran. So then I go for the Braybird here, and unfortunately, I barely managed to miss out on the KO, and he breaks my sub with a Lava Plume, so I really just should have gone for 2 Braybirds. But again, I forgot that he had the Heatran until I clicked the button. So yeah, anyways, gonna go for a Roost here just to see how much a Lava Plume will do, to see if maybe that was max damage, and, maybe, I don't know, maybe I can get another sub. But unfortunately, it looks like that lava flume is doing more than, a sub will get up, whatever-ish thing. Either way, I kill him off with the Braybird, so that's one Heatran down, and or one Pokemon down, I guess. But I kill him off, take some more recoil, and now, just in case the Dialga is scarfed, I'm going to switch out here into my what's it called, my Fortress, kind of as Death Fodder. I was thinking maybe a Dragon or a Draco Meteor won't do too much, but after Stealth Rocks, it doesn't look like I might be able to survive, as he ends up going for the Draco Meteor. But now that he's at -2, I was kind of thinking, okay, maybe after leftovers, I might just be able to survive a -2 Draco from this thing and get off a Rapid Spin, but I end up seeing leftovers, which tells me that he has not choice, so he's just going to knock me out with a Fire Blast. But oh well, I do have the Ho-Oh, which I was thinking, he's at -2, I can easily Roost, and he probably can't touch me, right? So I'm going to go for the Roost here, as he ends up going for the Thunder Wave, and that right there really surprised me. I really wasn't expecting that. I mean, I don't know, bulky attacking Dialga? I don't know. Either way, they'll get paralyzed right here, just as I went for the Sacred Fire, which would have done a ton of damage, and he Dragon Tails me out and into my Arceus. Now, I don't want any damage on my Arceus, just in case everything goes wrong. I can still have my Arceus, because that Palkia is still a big threat, and right now Arceus is my best bet to deal with it. So he ends up Thunder Waving again, and I'm going to go for the Sacred Fire, as he decides to switch out into the Arceus Ghost, and I get paralyzed again. That was frustrating right there, because that would have done a ton of damage, but he ends up going for the Swords Dance, not really sure why. I'm guessing kind of relying on the hacks, but luckily for me, I do not get paralyzed, and I do a ton of damage with that Sacred Fire. I guess he thought he could take it better, but it's Sun boosted Life Orb Sacred Fire from a Ho-Oh, and he just knocks me out with the Extreme Speed. But that's fine, because I do have my Dialga, which can easily outspeed because it is Choice Scarf to knock him out with any move of my choosing. And, he doesn't end up going for the Extreme Speed, not really sure why. I guess he didn't think I would be, Choice Scarfed, and I just knock him out with the Fire Blast. Not really sure why. Like, I guess I was fearing him to switch into the Fortress and then just start stacking a bunch of hazards. I don't know why I did that. Either way, though, that's going to put me in a really bad position, because he brings in this Palkia, and I'm going to switch out here. So I'm going to bring in my Giratina, and look at this right here. This Giratina is not even fully specially defensive, and it manages to survive a Spatial Rend. A stabbed, super effective Spatial Rend from a Palkia. That right there is impressive. But he is going to be able to knock me out with the second one, which is fine, because, Giratina really wasn't going to be doing too much, seeing as how it probably can't outspeed that Palkia. But I bring in my Dialga, and even if he is Timid Scarfed, I know I can take a Spatial Rend, because it'll only do about like 60-ish% or so. So I'm going to stay in here and try to knock this thing out, but he gets the crit, and right there, all my hopes and dreams were dashed, and it was awful. I was crying frantically, and I threw my laptop against the wall. Not really. But I bring in my Arceus, and when everything goes wrong, bring in an Arceus. So I know I can take a Spatial Rend, so I'm going to go for an SD, and that's exactly why I didn't want any damage on my Arceus, so I can take a Spatial Rend in case something went wrong. So now I'm going to go for the +2 Admit Silk Scarf Stabbed Extreme Speed and destroy that Palkia. And I am carrying the Earthquake, so I'm pretty sure I can knock out this Dialga, depending on what EV spread he is running. So I'm going to go for the Earthquake right here, and even if he is bulky, he wasn't bulky enough to survive that Earthquake, so that is one dead Dialga. And now it all comes down to one last Pokemon, the Fortress. If he's carrying the Gyro Ball, he can probably win this, because an Earthquake is a 2-hit KO. As you can see, it's only a 2-hit KO from that range, and he goes for the Volt Switch. The crowd goes wild, yeah! But yeah, anyways, he wasn't carrying the Gyro Ball, so I can just knock him out with another Earthquake. So that is going to be a G, a G. Hope you all enjoyed. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Arceus is the man, or weird looking horse goat thing, and Fortress should have Gyro Ball. But yeah, anyways, peace out. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Add me on Skype if you want, and yeah, stuffity stuff.